This here is the Big Fiddle in Sydney, Nova Scotia. I popped by there just for a minute to see it. Thursday, the ferry got all screwed up by high winds, so I'm lucky I never bothered trying to catch the ferry yesterday. But then Friday morning, woke up good and early and got down to the docks for about 10 o'clock. The ferry didn't leave until noon, but you had to be 2 hours early so that everything could get figured out and everyone could get loaded proper. But then once I eventually boarded, it was quite the trip. A good 6 or 7 hours, and lots of interesting people on board, and you start to recognize people after a few hours and a few conversations, and it was really nice. Pretty smooth ride too. I didn't get really seasick, but I did have kind of a funny feeling in my head for a little while till I got my sea legs and got used to the side to side slow rock that the boat does. But yeah, it was a good ride. I'm talking to you now from Newfoundland. I'm just, it was raining soon after I got off the ferry, so I just found a place to park and work on the video for the day and relax. But yeah, the ferry was well set up. Everything, they run a tight ship there. They got everybody packed in good, bumper to bumper, and I left the kitty in the truck, but it's nice and cool in the below deck where I parked there, and with the windows cracked and lots of food and water, she was just fine for the few hours. But on board, yeah, they had a smoking section on the outer deck, so I ended up running into the same people there for most of the trip, and we get chatting and telling stories, talking about our trips so far. And not everybody on the ship was a traveler. Some people were heading home to Newfoundland. There was one guy who was a trucker that I met. He even pointed out to me, like, that's my rig over there, while we were talking. And so I got a few good shots as we were leaving the harbor, and then a few shots of just empty ocean all around. I haven't been this far away from shore since I took the ferry over to Vancouver Island years ago. But started to wear on after a little while, and I was really glad to see land come back into view soon enough. And just realizing that that's Newfoundland over there got me right excited. They don't call it the Rock for nothing. It is very scarce of trees. Lots of mountainy cliff faces, and I'm excited to be here, and I've only seen just a small chunk right now as I talk to you, but I'm already in love with this place. It is such an amazing landscape. So I picked up a map off the ship. They had maps of Newfoundland for free, so I grabbed one. Because I'm pretty sure that cell service is not too good over a large chunk of the wild here. So it'll be good to have that paper map. Yeah, as soon as the boat got docked, everybody got down to their cars and rolled out just as quickly as we rolled in. And I went straight away to a Tim Hortons to use their internet just to figure out where I was, kinda, and where the grocery store was, and ended up waiting in line for so long at Timmy's that I couldn't get to the grocery store before they closed. But I'll get around to that when I wake up in the morning, pack the cooler with some meat and ice and maybe a little bit of beer for the next leg of the trip, which is some pretty rugged countryside with just some small towns along the way. Not very much to depend on. You gotta rely on yourself around here. Though people have told me plenty along the way that if you break down in front of someone's house out here, they'll invite you in for dinner and call the mechanic for you. And I'm excited to meet some locals out here. I met one guy on the ship who grew up in Newfoundland here. He pointed out to me a lighthouse by the dock and said, "Yeah, I grew up a 5-minute walk from there." And just amazing people. It's gonna be good. I'm really excited for Newfoundland here. The videos might take a little while to come out in between one and the other because the lack of service, but now it's raining, I'm parked, and I'll talk to you later.